Picking apricots.
Watch your head. Set the bucket down here. Whoop. Like I said, watch your head. All right.
Loaded.
Bet you guys can't guess what I'm going to be doing. Canning.
Oh, the pears are on. Another pear. Pears. Apples. That's a cherry tree that has no cherries on it. Not sure on that one. Another apple. This apple's loaded. You see how the branches are hanging down almost to the ground? Those are all apples. Apples went berserk this year. Crazy. Look at them. A smaller apple. That's the peach, but there's nothing on it. And pears again. All right, let's get to picking. The strawberries are about done. There's a couple holdouts. We have got some rain that's kind of sparked their growth back again. Grapes are on too. Lots of grapes. Whole bunch of grapes. Grapes, grapes, grapes. Well, not quite a 5-gallon bucket, but a little more than half of one. Not bad for one tree. I think that was the female tree. The 2 male trees didn't have much on them. If that's how that works, I don't really know. But some nice size apricots. Really nice.
Okay, so after we pick the apricots, I just put them in the sink with some water and a little bit of salt to kill any creepy crawlies that are in there. I haven't had them in here soaking real long, just a little bit. Next, I'm going to take one. We're going to be canning apricot jam with it. So you leave the skins on because it's really, really thin and it actually has natural pectin. Easy as that. Cut it, pit it, pick this little piece out. 2 halves, throw them in my strainer. I'll do a bunch of them. I'll show you the next step though. I've got a little food chopper here. This thing's awesome. Stick it in. See how nice little cubes they are? I'm gonna finally chop those, fill my bowl with all the apricots. I'm gonna do this with all of them. And then I have some ball fruit fresh. I'm gonna sprinkle that, mix it in with the fruit. It keeps them from turning brown. And that's my step until I work on the canning. All right. All right, canning day for apricots. I have water going here so I can put my clean jars into the hot water to heat them up. Right now in the big pot, I have 5 cups of chopped apricots, a package of Sure Gel, a partial teaspoon, just a little bit of butter to keep it from foaming up, and some lemon juice. I think it's 2 tablespoons. And I'm stirring it. It's boiling. I'm about ready to add 7 cups of sugar. When I add the 7 cups of sugar, I have to stir it all in, let it come to a rolling boil again, and then we'll film packing the jars and show you what we're doing next. Talk to you in a few minutes. All right, so we are going to can the apricot jam. After I added the sugar, it had to be on a rolling boil for 1 minute exactly. I did. Now I'm going to ladle it into my sterilized hot jars. I sterilize them through washing them with soap and water, rinsing them, and then putting them in that kettle over there of hot water. All right, take that off, and you can tell I'm a little rusty. I haven't canned much yet this year. Wipe off the rim, the very top, with a little bit of wet paper towel, just to get any sticky off of there. Take your magnet tool, go to where your hot lids are. And where your hot lids are, plunk it on the jar. Screw your lid on, and one's done. All right. Okay, so I had set my kitchen timer for 10 minutes. It just pinged. I had all of my jars set upside down for that 10 minutes. Now I'm going to go through and just flip them right side up. This is a old-fashioned method. I didn't run them in a water bath because I used hot. It's an old-fashioned way of doing jams that my great-grandma did this way, my grandma did this way, my mother and I, and they wind up pinging and sealing, and they're good to go. It's just a rebel way of canning, but that's how I've always done my jam. So that is it for today's video. I have a ton more apricots to work on, so we'll see you on the next one.
All right, one last thing. Mrs. Jess canned 38 jars of the apricots we picked the other day at my dad's house, and quite a little haul for like what, half to 3/4 of a bucket of them. And I have no idea how many buckets those apples are going to yield, but for her working all day just on this, and props to her, there's a lot more work coming when the apples start dropping. Everything, the only thing that was ready was the apricots, so we're just waiting a couple months till everything else ripens up. See you on the next one.